there's a conspiracy theory view on what happened Monday too, which is the SEC is in a tough spot in that pretty much everyone, and I do mean everyone, now agrees that this thing needs to get approved. But if you can go back to the market manipulation argument, why it hasn't been approved, then you can stall some more. So if the goal, which is the narrative that's trying to be created by saying, oh, see, this proves how manipulated it is. Somebody spread a rumor and the price moved 10%.
The U.S. Securities Exchange Commission has been actively suppressing the cryptocurrency industry in the United States, with the Biden administration and federal regulators allegedly employing various tactics to cut off banking services and hinder its growth. This operation, dubbed Choke Point 2.0, is reminiscent of a similar initiative during the Obama administration, which disconnected certain industries from the financial system based on government perceptions. A new phase of this suppression is now targeting spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, which gained attention after BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, filed an application for such a product. Despite calls from lawmakers and the industry for approval, SEC Chair Gary Gensler appears determined to prolong the evaluation process. A recent incident further underscores the regulatory challenges in the cryptocurrency space. A false report that the SEC had approved BlackRock's iShares spot Bitcoin ETF sent the market into a frenzy, with Bitcoin's value surging by over 10% within minutes. This incident raises concerns about the industry's vulnerability to manipulation and a lack of effective oversight.
Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to drop your comment and observations in the comment section below. Thanks and enjoy the video.
And I've actually said this long before BlackRock even applied. I said there will only be one approval, and it will be BlackRock. And that's the way it is. And sucks, The Winklevoss twins should have got approved the day they applied. They were first, and it should have been approved. And this idea that, markets are manipulated. Oh, you mean more than the triple levered, S&P ETFs that have lost 99.9999999% of their value?
Mm-hmm.
Or gold futures that have been manipulated, and JP Morgan paid $1 billion fine last year for manipulating the price of gold. You mean more manipulated than that? Come along lately, get some, but the first one out gets the mass of the money, the bulk of the money. So I knew that they would deny Kathy, and I knew they'd deny Hunter and the gang and give them extensions. I thought there was a 50-50 chance to get approved. I think now we got another 90 days. That pushes it into the new year, probably more likely. But Monday changed things. Monday was clearly, in my mind, a trial balloon to see kind of how it would fall. There's a conspiracy theory view on what happened Monday too. The SEC is in a tough spot in that pretty much everyone, and I do mean everyone, now agrees that this thing needs to get approved. But if you can go back to the market manipulation argument, why it hasn't been approved, then you can stall some more. So if the goal, which is the narrative that's trying to be created by saying, oh, see, this proves how manipulated it is. Somebody spread a rumor and the price moved 10%. Versus what? You mean when companies announce products that they don't have ahead of time and their stock moves, or people announce, mergers that don't happen? Fake news happens all the time. And but that is one alternative view, that it wasn't, an accident or a trial balloon to see how it would feel, but rather a way to say, see, I told you, total manipulated market. We can't approve this thing. That's possible. The numbers are easy. And this is just supply and demand. So GBTC is the only thing that advisors can use today. Mm-hmm. So, registered investment advisors. And it's got about $20 billion in it. It's prohibited at a whole bunch of RIAs. Like, I'd say I have a family harmony account at UBS, meaning my brother-in-law works there. So that's why I have an account. I love my brother-in-law, but I wouldn't have an account there if it weren't for him. And I can't buy GBTC. I can't buy, blockchain mining or Bitcoin mining stocks. I can't.
You buy MicroStrategy?
Nope, can't buy it. I mean, it's they block everything, and look, they're prerogative, it's a private company, and I could change, but I don't. Long story short, when the BlackRock ETF is approved, all of those firms, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, UBS, that have blocked it to this point, will immediately to buy it because their clients want it.
Despite any further actions the SEC may take, it will eventually find itself compelled to approve at least one of the pending applications. At some point, the regulatory agency must acknowledge that delaying the approval of a spot exchange-traded fund due to concerns about manipulation makes little sense, especially when a futures-based ETF already exists, widely recognized as more susceptible to manipulation. This point is exemplified by how major players in the U.S. banking industry, such as JP Morgan, have been able to manipulate the prices of assets like gold and other metals through the futures market. Mark, a prominent hedge fund manager, is confident that a spot Bitcoin ETF is on the horizon, attracting billions of dollars in new investments to the cryptocurrency. Large institutional investors and firms like BlackRock and Fidelity are poised to allocate substantial sums to Bitcoin. Given the current tumultuous state of the global economy, these allocations may exceed expectations. Here are additional excerpts from Mark's interview.
And Eric Balchunas, I'm not how to pronounce his name, but I love Eric. It's like Yusko. Nobody, I know who knows me when they say Yusko, but although the other half of the clan does say Yusko, the other half. But he says there's $30 trillion. I get my zeros right. $30 trillion of money in these RIAs that don't allow it today. If you get 0.1%, that's 30 billion. 30 billion doesn't sound like a lot on a $500 billion asset, but it's not a $500 billion asset.
Yeah, there's only 2 million something on exchanges, and then 2 million that have been moved within the last 6 months. So it's pretty liquid.
I mean, it's about let's say it's 100 billion that moves. So 30 billion on 100 billion, that'll move the price, but it's not going to be 0.1%, right? I think it goes to 1%. Now we're talking 300 billion. Now 300 billion on 100 billion free float. Now you're talking a big move. 20 billion of that come out of GBTC, because there's no reason to own GBTC if you can, 2%, if you can own, BlackRock and pay 50 basis points or whatever they're going to charge. So there'll be a short-term selling, but, offset. So it probably won't go up quite as quickly. But I think inevitably you're going to get a 1% allocation to people's portfolio, and some maybe even higher. But supply and demand, fixed supply. We know the growth of the supply. And we also have this challenge that a whole bunch that's lost or stolen. There's a whole bunch that can't move, either because it's multi-sig problem or just hodlers are going to hodl. When that gets approved, it's going to move price. And price movement is a form of validation of market.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Apple stock was in the toilet for decades until finally people said, I don't like my IBM PC anymore. I want the Apple PC. Oh, but your company won't support it. And, so for years they had 8, 9, 10% market share because it was the artists and the graphic designers and people who knew it was a better operating system. Today, it's what I use. And there's still things that it doesn't do exactly well because Microsoft, makes it hard, but it works 95% of the time. If you're not following Bitcoin, if you're not investing in Bitcoin, if you don't have any exposure, that's my hashtag get off zero. We created way back when. Zero is the wrong number. I'm not saying you should have all your money, and I'm not, because at least for now, we still live in a fiat world, but zero is the wrong number. And every human being, every institution, everybody needs to get off zero. And so the more you learn about it, the more you understand it, the more you get that.
In the coming weeks, we can expect a surge in speculations, theories, and craftily manipulated statements being presented as undisputed facts. Gensler has consistently voiced his opposition to the cryptocurrency industry, and it's likely he won't relent until his tenure as the head of the Exchange Commission ends. The industry is undeniably facing a formidable challenge, one that demands unwavering determination. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Marcus's interview and his perspective on the cryptocurrency industry. Please share your comments and observations in the section below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.